I think most PhD students, most people that are in the academic career have a burden of believing that they're not good enough, believing that they are insecure. But I just want to say this at this moment, you're good enough. I think if you have the mantra in your head, you're good enough. I don't need to prove to anybody. Things start changing in your life. And even when I say this at this moment, I feel it almost makes me feel teary-eyed to feel this, because I think that there is so much pressure on all of us to produce, to do better, to keep up with the market, that we forget about taking time for ourselves and thinking about the emotional burdens that we face. I think that this is true of any very competitive career. So whether you're in law school or whether you're a CEO of a company, you're always thinking about, am I good enough? Should I do more? And the answer almost always in your head is no, I am not good enough. And no, I need to actually do more. I think we need to pause and reflect on something. There's something that I always think about that I think is very interesting, right? So whether you are a CEO of 3 people, a company with 3 people, or a CEO of a company with 25,000 people, they work the same hours. Now, how is that possible? What is actually going on there? What does that actually mean? The person that cleans your bathrooms at your institution or the building that you're in works probably pretty close to the same hours that you actually do. And what is going on there? And what's happening is that work is being prioritized in a different way, and different work is being done. And so what does that mean for you? And what does this mean? Why am I talking about this? It means that you're good enough. You don't have to do more. Doing more doesn't necessarily mean that more work gets done and that you are imperfect if you do less and you take some breaks here and there, and you focus on your mental health, and you focus on making sure that you're okay deep down inside. All of those people that you might be very impressed with in this world, they don't work that much more than you. They work probably about the same amount of hours. The only thing that is different is how we perceive them and how things have played out in their life. And I know that that is hard to take, and I know that people are going to critique it in all sorts of different ways. I get it. But at the end of the day, you have to come back to think about how that you are just good enough inside, and reflect on, I don't need to prove to anybody anything. I just walk my walk. And I think once I get into that sort of belief that I don't need to do that much for anybody else, I don't need to show to anybody, I just do my thing. And when I get into that mode of, I'm just gonna do my thing and I'm just gonna enjoy this for what it actually is, a lot changes in how I perceive the world and how I feel about the world. Now, I'm never gonna lose this feeling of the fact that I'm not good enough, or, you know, that there's people that are far better than me, that, you know, all of those things. Some people call it the imposter syndrome. Some people call it a lack of self-confidence. I just call it as being me and being part of this place that we're in called academia, or, you know, just any competitive market. It's always the same thing. You have to take a step back and say, I'm good enough and I'm okay. I think the moments when you lose track of that, when everything is really frantic and you're flying around and you feel like like it's never gonna be good enough. You gotta take a step back. And I know that the people that need this the most, and you're probably reflecting on these people right now that need this the most, that are probably bulldozing in your life, that are, you know, doing things that take over your life and make you feel bad and all of that kind of stuff because they have all this pressure on them. That's all it is. They need this message the most, but the fact is they're not going to actually listen to it because they already believe that they're moving along in this trajectory and they don't need to listen to anybody else. But for me, I need to reflect on that all the time. I need to reflect on I'm good enough. That's it. And I just do my thing. I go in, I try to do my best, whatever that means. And then I go home and I try to enjoy that when I'm at home as well, which means I know that there's all this pressure in the academic game, in the research game, that, man, you cannot watch TV, you cannot, you know, read comic books because none of that stuff is intellectual and none of that stuff is considered productivity. Screw that. I love that kind of stuff. I love sitting at home and watching stupid things on TV. I love all of that kind of stuff because I think it's healthy. I think doing those things are absolutely healthy in your life. And that's where you just got to stand up and say, why am I actually paying attention to those feelings and that pressure that the outside world is putting on me? Why don't I just say, hey, I'm good enough. I'm happy with who I am. And just enjoy it. Spend time relaxing. But when you go into work, spend time working and work and do that thing. And then you go home. So what I'm saying is just let go of all of those feelings that you feel. Do your best to let go of all those feelings and just do the work. Enjoy your life. And that's it. That's the end goal. It's all we can hope for. Repeat after me. I am good enough.